All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown. All three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Darkness on the Edge of Town, a horror novel by Brian Keene. There's one of Bruce Springsteen's most famous album was also called Darkness on the Edge of Town. Or maybe Darkness at the Edge of Town. I don't know. But this is Darkness on the Edge of Town. Came out in 2010. Let's talk about the cover first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. I think this one's nice. It's got a nice silver foil to it. A little town here with some darkness on the edge of it. Makes perfect sense. So, this story, now I've got my Brian Keene books right here. Some of my favorite horror novels, of course. Urban Gothic, if you want to watch one of my best book reviews ever, just type in Urban Gothic by Brian Keene and my last name. Type those things into your YouTube search bar. That video will magically appear. Also, Dark Hollow was another good book. Just do the same thing. Type Dark Hollow, my last name. Great reviews, great books. What do I think about Darkness on the Edge of Town? Okay, let's get into it. So it's told through the first person of a character named Robbie Higgins. And he's got two friends, Russ and Christy, and they plan to escape the darkness on the edge of the town. Well, what is this darkness on the edge of the town? Well, it's in Walden, Virginia. They wake up and they find that the rest of the world has disappeared. And their town is surrounded by darkness, like a dome of darkness, reminiscent of Stephen King's Under the Dome. This was written about the same time, maybe a little after Under the Dome. But anyway, it's like, and this is hella smaller than Under the Dome. Under the Dome was a massive 1,000-page book. This one's only about 250 pages. Goes by quick. I wish we could have got a little bit more of the characters in the town. I mean, you don't need to go as big as Stephen King, 1,000 pages, but maybe just a little bit more character development, a little bit more world building, things like that. But anyway, this is a dome of darkness that has surrounded the town. Another thing is, and there's no electricity, there's no things like that. So it's kind of like, it's also reminded me a little bit of S.M. Stirling's The Change series in that respect. So we've got this town captured underneath this dome of darkness. And anyone trying to escape the dome of darkness is just swallowed up, and their screams are all that remain. There's a kind of a poignant scene where there's a woman with a newborn baby who needs to get the newborn baby to the hospital. But there's no hospitals in Walden, Virginia. It's a smaller town. So she's like, I need to get my baby to the hospital. I'm going to go out see if I can find the hospital. But I'm going to go out into the darkness. And everybody's like, no, please, please, dear God, don't. Because, Robbie, Russ, and Christy are three main characters. They want to escape the dome too. And they've went and investigated the darkness on the edge of town, and they hear the screams out there. They hear voices. They hear a lot of weird stuff, like haunting voices from their own past, things like that. And they're like, "Don't go out into the darkness, lady. Things are not going to go well for you." I kind of felt bad. I was like, "Oh my God, the good little lady just wants to get her kid to the hospital." But there's a cop, a police officer named Seymour Peters. It's in the book. I didn't do it, folks. Seymour Peters, the police sheriff guy. Yeah, okay. The three main characters, after a bit of time, and things are going into chaos pretty quick. Within a day or two, everything under the dome of darkness is chaos. And which this was written in 2010, some 20 years before COVID. And a lot of the way these characters react in this book, it's exactly the way things went down during COVID. Like toilet paper gets looted. You can't find a lot of stuff. Everybody's like locked down. I mean, it's just crazy. So, Brian Keene predicted a lot of stuff that would happen. But I guess we could all kind of predict a lot of stuff that's going to happen in the event of a catastrophe or a Holocaust or another virus or you know what I'm saying. Anyway, our three main characters, they want to leave. And then so they've launched this plan. I won't tell you what the plan is, but they've got this plan to leave and go through the darkness. But of course, before they do that, they got to smoke some weed. They got to get high. In fact, they spend most of the book high. They're the potheads. But they want to get out of this town because of the murders, the rapes, the looting, the riots, the race wars, the hoarding of food and supplies. That's kind of the story. It's like The Dome by Stephen King mixed with S.M. Stirling's The Change series, both of which are massive epic series, but then boiled down into 250 pages of pretty good action. It's R-rated. I like that it's not R-rated. It's almost like PG-13 rated. There's nothing real gruesome. Like Urban Gothic, holy shit, and Dark Hollow, two of the more gruesome books I've ever read. Not so much with this Brian Keene. I'm going to give this one a solid 7.5 out of 10. Darkness on the Edge of Town.